Essentially, each of you have been assigned to a workshop leader, and you'll be working with them over the course of the next 2 days to develop a proposal.
Thank you, excellent guest, for being part of this Architectural Life.
So now, what we want to talk about really are those three topics. One is what is the future of architectural education? How do we educate architects? Second one is, if you're going to design an architectural building, how do you cope with the problems of what you think about the future of architectural education? And also, what's the role of architecture in the world today? And finally, I think we should also discuss whether the network is something that really is the most important topic that we have. Is that the most important issue of the day, just because it seems to be the most important issue of the press? Now, lately, issues like sustainability and ecology, economies, localities, intimacy are starting to take over this question of the network because they seem increasingly urgent. So.
Does a school of architecture has to be designed? Because a school of architecture, if it's too much design, at the end, the students will replicate that. And it's not really practical in a way, if it's too much design form, etc. So I have the feeling that this building is very practical for being a school of architecture, a school of art, and a school of design. So a school of architecture is just a toolbox at the end. And for me, a box is enough for a school of architecture.
Architectural schools do not produce enough research, they do not produce enough PhDs, etc. So, to be honest, we are much more looking for a kind of community-based web solutions for that at the moment than for new buildings. But there is a real pressure, or on the one hand there's a pressure, on the one hand there's an opportunity to change education. It is true that a symposium like this to organize would be for most schools in Europe a big achievement.
Yes, but we have to refer to the excellence, not to the middle one. And I think that AA is nearly was more inventive and speculative, and now it's ungiven. And there are some other schools, but it's not only sure. We have a lot of boring schools in Europe, but I'm sure that there are a lot of boring schools in States too. So. When we speak about School of Architecture, we have to refer to the best of them.
Essentially, in the name of sobriety and in the name of responsibility, we are now producing a culture that's afraid to even speak about art practices and the role of speculative ideas. And that seems to me, that's my idea of the future of education, is to resist that at all costs and to, regardless of money, regardless of funding, to make sure that a culture that understands the absolutely crucial role of that apparently frivolous practice in these circumstances cannot be dispensed with.
So the very thing that gives us all of our deep architectural culture and so forth is under very, very significant transformation. And I think that trying to come to terms with that is extremely difficult. The weakness of architects is when confronted by that kind of challenge, that's when you fall into professional expertise. That's when you go, here's the door, here's the structure, here's sustainable, all of this positivistic, measurable stuff is set up not because it's true or false, but because it's a sort of reaction formation to the anxiety that would otherwise be produced by thinking about the significant changing world order. There is not a global network being produced. There are lots of parts of the world that don't want to talk to all of us. That is not a network. I would say architecture is a field. Architecture is a practice of thinking. Architecture as a way of dealing with material culture. Architecture as a way of translating the development of new affects into visible form. That architecture is one of the very significant tools that we have to sit with and figure our way through this, this set of transformations.
In times when everybody is talking about the crisis, we are talking and thinking about the future. This is what should happen at the university, and this is why I'm so proud about this school, because we are succeeding in this, even in these times.